Well, I'm out here cleaning up the Defender a little bit and thought I would make a video just covering the basics of these window leaks. Make life a little simpler on you if you're having a leak. I would say starting out, okay, I've got this front window open, and that's one of the most common ones I hear complaints on. You see them on the forums and so forth. And chances are, if you've never checked it, if you've got a big leak, especially right in here, that's where it's usually going to be, in that whole center area. You lift it up, chances are if you get up here and look, you're going to see all sorts of garbage all on there because it actually just sticks right in there. Kind of a crappy design. Now, I've got this window molding off right now. You can see it's kind of just barely sitting there, but there'll be junk all along there, so you can wipe it down first. But what I would suggest, and I just haven't gotten around to do it to mine, but I've done it to buddies, is just pull off one side of this. It just uses a mastic. You can see probably a little bit of it there, a little sticky mastic. And you just pull it off. And then when you get it all off, just go through, I would say use use one of the lint-free towels and maybe just some real light, soap and water, or even just water. And just kind of clean out in that groove. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just clean out all in that groove. And then you can go back along this rim and clean it up. We're not trying to remove the mastic or anything. We're just trying to get the bulk of the dirt off there. And you can use, I've got some silicone out here. That's what I did before, just probably out of just regular silicone. None of the stuff with the add-ins, like the mildew. You want plain Jane, 100% silicone. But they do make, as I recall, this kind of mastic stuff that you can stick in, that you can put in there for windshields. You pick up some of that, probably even be better off. But like I say, pull off one side and pull it all the way down over to at least that far corner. Pull it all the way off if you want, but pull it all the way down, and then just go through, put your mastic or your silicone in this case, real fun. Don't cut it like this. This was already cut. But you just want a tiny nick, tiny cut in the tip, and just put some down inside this little channel right there. Okay, doesn't take much, and then put it back on, and that's going to go a long way to keeping that from coming loose, because that is exactly where it comes loose. And then you get a rain and it's just coming down, onto your knee down there. So I gotta say, pretty straightforward there, believe it or not. Whenever you pull it around, and I'll talk about this more over here too, when you pull it around, you're going to find it has a little bit of stretch, because another less common place, but I should say more minor place, is right here where the two meet. And probably if you look, you're going to have a space, like a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a little more, where it doesn't quite meet. Well, as you're pulling it down and putting it on there, you're going to have a little stretch, and you could put a clamp there if you need to. You probably won't even need to be honest. So that does that. While you're at it, of course, get your molding nice and clean. You don't want to, come through where it touches. Go ahead and clean that up. And I'll tell you what, before I go into how to diagnose these leaks, let me cover this one too over here. Same thing here. They seem to stay pretty good up here from what I've seen, but down around the bottom, they don't. And again, you're probably actually already pulled this one a little bit, but you're probably gonna have a space between both of these. And so if you pull it back off, it doesn't use any mastic or anything, pull it back off, push it back on and kind of give it a little pull, you can get those to meet. You can certainly, again, add the silicone or the mastic back into there, and you're good to go. Go through, I'm telling you, just push all this, make sure it's all pushed in. Same thing here. This really comes loose a lot. This little rubber, it's all one piece here where my finger is. That comes out a lot. That's what keeps your window pushed against the outside there. So just make sure all this is pushed in, make sure all this, I should say, pulled in. Same thing around here. This right here, even though it's just kind of lousy is what this is, but you can get a little bit of stretch out of this. More importantly is just to have it all pushed in, because a little bit of water going down there is just going to go right through out your door, so not a big deal. I've actually got just in probably the last, on mine, probably the last 1.5 inches I've got some silicone on the inside there to hold it. I've got it there, oops, there, and there. And that does a lot. So really don't have any problems with these anymore. There's probably gonna be a little metal. The newer ones, I think, are a little different. But there's probably gonna be a little metal bar in here to keep this pushed up. If you got a lot of space there, because this is a 2020, whenever you pull that, you see that metal bar, whenever you pull this off, it's just a chintzy little metal bar. I believe there's one over here too. You can kind of pre-bend it. And that's what I did here to push it up against there more, so when the molding goes back down over it, it keeps it pushed up closer, so you're not getting as much junk and water down there. So that's the main thing. I mean, it really is just checking and cleaning all these seals, making sure they're pushed in, making sure they're going to stretch as far as they can go. But as far as diagnosing, because you can do all that and still have some pretty substantial leaks, certainly up top, as I was just talking about there, and then people definitely get them down around the bottoms, especially, you know, with these doors. The newer doors tend to fit a little better, but of course they also come loose on people and don't have locks, so they're a little pop shot. But certainly, you know, adjust your door, because they're probably not adjusted that well unless you got just a sensational dealer. But adjust your doors, and I think there's some videos out on that. I won't go too far into that, but it's usually just a matter of, you know, just loosening these just enough. I mean, to where they're still somewhat firm, and just kind of just pushing. I mean, you know, you're just going to kind of grab it and kind of tweak it and push it. And, you know, there's other things. I'm pretty certain there's a video on that. You know, certainly making this tighter. And you want it to where you get a pretty decent slam. And it's so simple to tighten that. It pulls against all this molding. That right there does an awful lot. Just adjusting that door stripe. But the way to really test these things, and like I say, we've done this before, is wait till it's dark and go into a dark place. Get you a nice big flashlight, put it there on the seat or whatever, and start out, point it, you know, sitting on the seat, point it up towards there, close the door, okay? And then, you don't ladder if you have to or whatever. But if you see any light, well, that means obviously air can get there and water too. So you're just gonna look for, you know, where the light penetrates. You make you some marks or whatever, a little bit of tape, and then do the same thing all the way around. You know, take your light, kind of point in this area, and then certainly on the bottom, because you're pretty much guaranteed you're gonna see light. You get down on your hands and knees down there, but that's one of the most notorious places. And it's gonna be the same on the windshield. You know, you can put the light from the inside. You probably don't have to set it up on the outside there, on the inside, but you know, you're just going to look for light penetration just all along there, and chances are it's going to show up along there. Well, so what do you do once you know that? Say you adjusted the doors as well as you can, all that kind of stuff. This is where it gets simple. There's a couple different varieties of marine molding. This is, I think, the medium, I believe, and there is a larger, and it's kind of shaped like two D's, almost like I guess almost should say the shape of the letter B. And on that kind, you can actually separate the two. You just take it and pull it in separate directions, and you end up with two, you know, with half of it, and that works great too. But you know, it's self-adhesive. You go through first, you know, wherever you've marked, you know, where you put your tape, you know, say for instance, you know, you got a seeing light right up along there. Well, go back up top and do it one of two ways. All right, I kind of like putting it, which we did on my buddies. I kind of like putting it actually on the molding. Okay, right there. Take a little bit of alcohol, you know, wipe it down, it makes it stick real well, and you can just put it right down on there. Stick it literally right there along the edge. Okay. The other thing is you can also do it in there. I've not tried it, but I don't know. I guess I kind of like just having a clean metal edge, but either way, you're going to be accomplishing the same thing. And get it on there, check it, and I can almost promise you that you're going to see a whole lot less light. Going to need some down there. Certainly here, the same way. You know, like I say, put it on there, where it meets, or actually stick it to your molding. You need the smaller kind there. But yeah, you're just sticking on weather stripping, marine grade, you know, the waterproof, durable stuff. Home Depot, Lowe's have it. And so that's really about it. It's just going through and making those tiny little adjustments. You know, doors, getting things cleaned up, getting molding where you got big gaps, and make a big difference on your air conditioning heating on these limiteds. And then certainly noise too. It really does. Big difference. Just fine tuning. Anyway, hope that helps. Y'all take it easy.